Hello, yes, I'm Robin, a senior partner manager at Yotpo, and I'm honoured to have been asked to take part in today's event. So I'm here to talk about our State of Loyalty in the UK in 2021 survey, the results of which we published earlier this year. Now, this was a survey that we started running in 2019, and it means that we've now got a couple of years worth of data to refer to and compare against. Now, a bit about the methodology. The survey is based on 1,000 UK-based respondents across 4 different demographics: Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, and Baby Boomers, and it focuses on what people were thinking about loyalty last year. But we're going to kick off with the sentiment on loyalty pre-COVID. Literature from the past few years is rife with articles lamenting the decay of customer loyalty, as well as studies claiming record low number of brand loyal customers. But as we will discover, many commonly accepted truths about the retail industry were thrown into question with the onset of COVID. And it's these findings that we'll look at today, as well as examples of some brands doing it well. But first, I wanted to touch upon generally why loyalty matters. Why did we run the survey in the first place? Well, we're at the stage where cost of acquisition, or CAC, is outpacing lifetime value. Depending on the industry, acquiring a new customer can cost anywhere from 5 to 25 times more than retaining current ones. The continued focus on acquisition is happening at the expense of retention and ultimately inflating CAC. This is driven by the fact that e-commerce continues to boom. In addition to the increased competition we've seen over the last few years, particularly last year, 93% of us in the UK have shopped on Amazon over the last 12 months. 93%, mainly due to price and convenience. But price certainly isn't everything, as we'll come on to, and the desire to create a connection between brand and consumer is still strong. And therefore, loyal customers can become your most important ally. And I'm not talking about influencers, just someone who loves what you do. Once someone has become a fan of the brand, you can use their passion to encourage others. As people, as humans, we're always referring and asking for recommendations. Where did you eat for dinner? Well, what takeaway did you get last night at the moment? Where's a good bar that we can go to when everything opens up again? I love your dress. I love your t-shirt. If e-commerce can tap into this efficiently, it's a really, really powerful method of communicating and increasing brand value. So you need to stay hyper-focused on your customer experience. Brand building, brand building, brand building. Loyal customers are your most effective brand advocates as they translate your brand value to the masses. And we consider ourselves on average loyal to about 5 brands. So it's important to become one of those 5 brands. And some of the findings that we'll go through now will help with creating that sense of engagement. So now on to the findings, and excuse the slightly clickbaity titles, but I just wanted to make sure that you really get embedded into the presentation and stay through to the end. So the top 5 takeaways we'll be looking at today are consumer loyalty has risen year on year. Empathy can drive loyalty. Brands continue to be part of our identity. Devotion is increasingly important, and variety is the spice of life. So our lockdown life has led us naturally to be actually a bit more loyal than we were previously. We've used the time we've had shopping online to develop a support muscle for businesses and local businesses and affinity to those businesses. And once we are a consumer, we're more likely to be in. We'll go further, spend more, and almost treat a brand as part of the family, maybe a distant cousin, but family nonetheless. And we also demand more as part of that. It's no longer good enough just to have discounts and free shipping. So point number 1, customer loyalty is trending upwards. When we asked consumers to rate their brand loyalty compared to 1 year ago, so from 2019 to 2020, the number of survey respondents who rated themselves more brand loyal actually went up from 23% to 26%. But those who rated themselves less loyal went down from 20% to near 15%. And earlier on, I mentioned the magic 5 number. On average, we are loyal to 5 brands, and the number of respondents who said that they were loyal to 1 to 5 brands went up from 50% to 60%. 2, empathy can drive loyalty. One of the bright spots of the last year was the "we're all in this together" mentality. And this is shown out in the report. A quarter of respondents, which rose to a third in Gen Z, said that they have become more loyal to brands as a result of the pandemic. The question is, how can brands maintain this empathetic loyalty or even build on it once the world begins to return to normal and stores open again? Do you need to focus on how to retain the online customer and convert them into an offline customer? Or is there really a difference when it comes to brand advocacy, as long as the shopper purchases somewhere and gets involved with the brand? One reason for this additional traffic that brands have seen is, of course, the availability due to COVID. Customers have been driven to discover new alternatives when they've been unable to find or shop from their usual haunts. So the key is how to create that engagement with your newly acquired wide-eyed customer and turn them into that much lusted after brand advocate. One brand who does this well is Chubbies. They touch both the online and offline space and utilize their loyalty program as a big part of that. They offer points for the standard actions to get people involved, following them on social and cross-category purchasing, but they also reward customers for visiting stores and you downloading their app, encouraging a loyalty customer to get even more ingrained in the brand and feel involved throughout the whole life cycle of the purchase. Other brands that do something similar are the likes of North Face, who offer aspirational rewards, such as trips to Nepal as part of their reward program. And Tom's, who don't even have a loyalty program per se, but really showcase their desire to give back to the community, and they donate a third of their profits to charitable causes. Which leads on to brands continuing to be part of our identity. A trend that we've seen in discussions with all of our clients over the past few years is the rise of the conscious shopper, the conscientious consumer. And this is a stat that I think we all expected to be big, but we didn't expect to be quite as big. So when asked, are you more inclined to be more loyal to a brand whose values align with yours? 82% of respondents said yes. Our affinity with where and what we shop continues to grow, as the purchases we make are now increasingly playing a part of into our identity. And it's becoming increasingly important for brands to demonstrate or showcase their values to encourage this affinity and in turn the loyal customer. I mentioned Tom's earlier. There are some other really good examples of brands that we work with, such as Patagonia, who offer important resources to help their shoppers get involved with their values. If you click on the activism section on Patagonia's website, you will, based on your location, be shown grassroots environmentalist activist groups in your area. If you shop on Blind Barber, they use integrated giving via their integrated e-commerce donation solution Shopping Gives, along with their Yotpo loyalty program, to incentivize customers to donate to Operation Underground Railroad by rewarding them with a reward point for every US dollar that is donated. Intimately, who make underwear for disabled women that's both functional and fashionable, have a section on their site called Stories by You, where community members share stories and advice, tips, resources, and more. Both of these brands are encouraging a community, all of these brands are encouraging a community and becoming a hub for that community. And brands like these are elevating themselves above pure product offering. Which leads to point 4, devotion is becoming increasingly important. We asked what sort of actions respondents would be willing to take for brands they're loyal to. And although I would quite like to have some funny answers for this, I think we should stay on track. So we found that 70% of people would be willing to join the loyalty program. But the key stat here, and the one I think most of you will take away, is that people would be willing to spend more on loyal brands, even if there are cheaper options or alternatives elsewhere. And that number has jumped by 20% from 2019 to 2020, so to 50% or just over 50%, which is huge. Half of the respondents, half of us, will be willing to spend more on a brand that we're loyal to because we agree with their values, because we like the product, even if it's available cheaper elsewhere. And it's brands like Play who are a good example of that, where their product is slightly more expensive than you might expect. They're a shoe company that want to put the fun back or the play back into shoes, and they have a lot of a large kids range. And the children's shoes are about $60 to $70, which is slightly above, I think, what the average consumer would like to pay. But they encourage people to spend with them because their loyalty points that you create by spending on this play site go towards charitable causes. You can donate your points rather than getting discounts or free shipping to their monthly charity. So they're engendering that feel-good purchase, as well as getting a really nice pair of shoes. You're supporting a good cause. And finally, variety is the spice of life. So we asked survey respondents in 2019 and then again in 2020 what they wanted out of a loyalty program other than free shipping and discounts, which is kind of the minimum you have to offer as a loyalty program at this point. And there were two distinct responses: early access to sales, which leaped from 40% to 56%, and early access to new products, which leapt from 29% to 46%. People also wanted offers and recommendations tailored to them. So it's beginning to fashion this loyalty program as less of a loyalty program where you're just getting rewards for actions, and tapping into the more emotional side where you're creating experiential rewards and giving that feeling of exclusivity by being part of it. There are a couple of brands that do this really well. So Moroccan Oil, firstly, don't have a loyalty program. They have the Beauty Circle. So by signing up to become a member of the Beauty Circle, you're already getting this feeling, this imagery of being part of something bigger. They then offer various tiered rewards. So you get early access to new products, big tick. You get free shipping, big tick. You also get extra points and incentivized extra points by spending at a certain threshold. As you move up the tiers, you also get access to seasonal events. And then when you reach iconic gold, you get the opportunity to test new products before they launch. So not only are they encouraging people to spend more and get more involved with the brand, they are literally inviting you to tear back the curtain and become part of the brand. You get to test their products and help inform their product range. And I can't think of a better example of getting involved and a brand being literally part of you than that. You've also got things like surprise and delights. It's just really nice wording. Another company that does this well is Sanucci. They're a jewelry company. They have a different method of incentivization. They offer a points multiplier the higher up you go. So the more you spend, the more you get back. Birthday points, early access to product launches again, free next day delivery, which is a little bit far up, but it's something to aim for. And then finally, you get the Sanucci Black Card, the proper high level of exclusivity. Everybody wants a black card, don't they? And these two reward programs specifically, these members clubs, is backed up by a recent report from HBR, which highlights that when thinking about loyalty programs as membership clubs, it represents a shift from buying goods in the hope that others will admire them and you to an investment in oneself. And I think that's something that really has been evident over the last 12 months. We are investing in self-development rather than in trying to show off. So how would this play maybe into your future customer-centric loyalty program or membership club, I should say? So a good way of looking at it is by segmenting your customers. These are sort of three basic personas that we start off by suggesting customers look out, but it needs to evolve and be agile and change with your customer base and how that evolves. But you could start with these three. You could start off with the unenrolled. So you could offer a limited time, maybe double points to sign up within a time period, specific time period to register for the program and get people involved. You've got the one-time shopper, those people who have signed up for the loyalty program, maybe using those bonus points, made a purchase and then disappeared. But of course, the benefit of having a person that's a part of the membership club instead of just your standard abandoned basket shopper is that you have a bit more information on them. So you can use that to create a segment to send them a discount based upon maybe a previous purchase to try and encourage them to come back and shop again, because once they come back, they're more likely to then shop further and generate that momentum and become the final one here, the loyalist, the person who comes back constantly and buys from you all the time. And you could reward these type of people by offering them a one-of-a-kind product that's only available maybe when they make a purchase of something else. So you could guide purchase behavior like that, or even offer a limited edition product that is only available to top tier membership club members. So to summarize, the top 5 takeaways of what we've looked at today. Customer loyalty has risen year on year. 27% of people are more brand loyal than they were last year, and 60% of people are loyal to up to 5 brands. Empathy can drive loyalty. A quarter of us, or a third of Gen Z, have become more loyal due to wanting to support brands throughout the pandemic. Brands continue to be part of our identity. A massive 82% of us are inclined to be more loyal or brand loyal if values of the brand match theirs. So it's really important to showcase these. Devotion has become increasingly important. 51% of us shop based on loyalty, even with cheaper alternatives. It's really important to be authentic and generate that brand loyalty. And variety is the spice of life. Thinking outside of the traditional free shipping and discounts is really important. Offer them, but offer more. 50% want early access to sales and products. And ultimately, the key to building loyalty is to ensure that your customers, both the new and existing ones, have a stellar end-to-end buying experience. So make sure that you invest in emotional over strictly transactional relationships with your loyal customers to keep them engaged and to drive both retention and increased customer lifetime value. On average, over the last 12 months, brands with an active Yotpo loyalty program saw 53% increase in purchases per customer, an 8% increase in average order value, and a 65% increase in lifetime value. Loyalty has evolved to become an integral part of an ongoing brand strategy across all touch points, not just a post-purchase attempt to encourage a repeat visit. And that's that. Thank you very much.